Good morning to all of you. Students, as you know, we are going through the chapter Path to Modernization. In the previous videos, we have talked about the political system of Japan, in which we have seen that how the power had been gone from the shoguns and reached to the Meiji government. And for the betterment of the country, the Meiji government took some steps to reform the economy as well as the administration. Let's find out about all this today's video. So Meiji reforms. Meiji reforms generally focus on the administrative reforms, economic reforms, constitutional reforms, and educational reforms. Today we are going to discuss the two major things, the administrative reforms as well as the economic reforms. When we talk about the administrative reforms, so administrative reforms means those reforms which has been done to make the administration easier, in which the method they had used to alter the old villages and the domain boundaries. अगर आपको याद हो तो डोमेन बाउंड्रीज वे प्रोविंसेस थे जिनको कि डेमियोज जो है वो रूल करते थे या उनको जो है एडमिनिस्ट्रेट करते थे. इन सभी की बाउंड्रीज को अल्टर किया गया सो दैट द एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन कुड मेक easier. Except in this, the collection of revenue become easier, and this collection of revenue has been used for the purpose to maintain schools and the health care, as well as to recruit the army persons so that the army can be modified with the new weapons. Censorship was another important thing that related with the administrative reforms, through which the government able to make control to criticize the government policies and the programs as well as the decisions. Political controls related with the make control over the other political bodies so that the government can easily make the administration. The military and the bureaucracy were directly under the command of emperor. Now the army pressed for a vigorous foreign policy to acquire more territory. This is the important fact that when the army becomes so strong, they were looking to expand their territory, and that's why they were asking for the foreign policy so that they can easily make their territory expand. And again, in this thing, they moved towards the war with Russia and China. और अब सभी जानते हैं कि इन दोनों के साथ वार्स में जो है जापान जो है वो सक्सेसफुल रहा, मीन्स ही बिकम विक्टोरियस. And this also create a surprise fame for the Japanese. एक स्मॉल कंट्री ने कैसे एक बहुत बड़े कंट्री रसिया जैसे को हरा दिया. Now when we talk about the economic reforms, economic reforms had been started with the introduction of railway. Railway, as you have seen, that generally used to transport the resources from one place to another place. The first railway line जो है वो बिछाई गई टोक्यो और योकोहामा के बीच में. योकोहामा वाज अ पोर्ट और इट हैड बीन लेड इन ईयर 1870 to 72. जबकि अगर आप कंपेयर करो तो इंडिया में कब आए थे? 1853 में. इंडिया में इससे पहले आ गया था. तो इट वॉज द बिगनिंग ऑफ द रेलवे इन जापान. टेक्सटाइल मशीनरी. टेक्सटाइल वॉज अनदर इम्पॉर्टेंट इकोनॉमिक हब that had been imported from Europe. अपने आप को ज़्यादा मॉडर्नाइज करने के पर्पज़ से ताकि वो कंपटीशन में बने रहे, इन्होंने जो मशीनरी सिस्टम है उसको कहाँ से इंपोर्ट किया? यूरोप के देशों से. और इंपोर्ट करने का बेनिफिट ये था कि इनके पास मशीनरी की एडवांस वर्जन अवेलेबल था. साथ ही साथ दे ऑल्सो अपॉइंटेड द फॉरेन टेक्नीशियंस सो दैट इफ देयर एनी काइंड ऑफ प्रॉब्लम हैड बीन अकर्ड इन द मशीन्स they can easily sort out. In 1872, for the betterment of trade and commerce, as well as the industries, modern banking system had been introduced in Japan. Now, when we talk about the companies like the Mitsubishi and Sumitomo, that were helped through subsidies as well as the tax exemptions, so that these companies Mitsubishi and Sumitomo became the shipbuilders or the major shipbuilders. ये बड़ी बड़ी कंपनियां थी जो शिप बनाती थी, एंड द मेन मोटो टू प्रोवाइड सब्सिडी और जो है टैक्सेशन में छूट, इसके पीछे ये था कि शिप्स बनाएंगे और इस शिप्स का यूज होगा किसके लिए? फॉर द ट्रांसपोर्टेशन पर्पस ऑफ गुड. नाउ सिमिलरली यू कैन आल्सो सी दैट द पॉपुलेशन हैव बीन इंक्रीज्ड फ्रॉम 35 to 55 मिलियन. 1900 में ये जो पॉपुलेशन है वो अप्रोक्सीमेटली 35 मिलियन थी, जो कि इंक्रीज करके 55 मिलियन ड्यूरिंग द ईयर 1920. So that to make control over the population, migration had been encouraged, especially in the colonial countries where the Japan had established. When we talk about the cities, तो cities का population जो कि 1920 के आसपास 21% था, it increased to 32% during the year 1935. Now let's talk about the industrial workers. Generally, industries are the base of the economic development during the beginning or the medieval period. The industries were led by the women. Women were the main workers in the industries at that time. Less than 5 workers using neither machinery nor electricity. Most of the जो industries थी, they were so small. Even then, most of the industries have only 5 workers. And they are using neither machinery nor the electricity. And the first modern strike by women had been done in year 1886. Now when we talk about after 1900, the number of men increased. 1900 के बाद से जो मेल की जो संख्या थी वो इंडस्ट्रीज में बढ़ने लगी, और ये लगभग 1930 आते आते जो है नंबर ऑफ वुमेन से बहुत ही ज़्यादा हो गई. साइज ऑफ फैक्ट्रीज वर आल्सो इंक्रीज. अब इन इंडस्ट्रीज में 5 से ज़्यादा, लगभग 700, 800, 1000 और नंबर बढ़ते हुए और ज़्यादा चले गए. हु वाज इलेक्टेड टू द फर्स्ट हाउस ऑफ रिप्रेजेंटेटिव्स, launched the first agitation against the industrial pollution in 1897. Due to industrialization, pollution was one of the major problem or the serious issue at that time. और इसको सबसे पहले रेज किया तनाका सोजो ने, जो कि हाउस ऑफ रिप्रेजेंटेटिव के सदस्य थे, और इन्होंने इसे 800 गांव वाले लोगों के साथ मिलके इसको रिप्रेजेंट किया. So students, now we have the assignment and we have only 2 questions. The question number 1 is, what measures did the Meiji government of Japan take to integrate the nation? In which you have to explain the different steps that had been taken by the government. Second is, what were the major developments before Meiji restoration that made it possible for Japan to modernize rapidly? That's all. Thank you and have a nice day.